Morning, and welcome to our 6-day workshop on beliefs. If you've looked at any of the pre-postings that I did, you'll find out that I said this is probably one of the most important workshops you'll ever attend. I say that and feel that way about every workshop. But let me tell you something about your beliefs. In any self-improvement course, in any course of action that you have to take to better yourself or feel fulfilled, your beliefs dictate the types of actions you take. So this is a really important one, and one of my favorites, really. This is how I really make magic happen in my own life. And I'm sure you have too. When I ask you to answer a couple of questions today, and it'll be brief, you're going to find out that this is something I want to learn more about, and I'll share that with you over the next 6 days. So day one of our workshops, what I like to do usually is define exactly what it is we're looking for, kind of map out an idea of what we want at the end of the workshop so that we have a goal, and then come up with a reason why you want it. All right. So our beliefs dictate who we believe we are and the types of actions we're going to take in everyday decisions, in everyday actions, in everyday feelings. For example, if you believe that you are overweight, will you ever change your musts, how you feel about eating, how you feel about working out? If you just believe you're a fat person, just say, I believe I'm a fat. I've always been fat, or I'm big boned, and you make those excuses. That is who you believe you are. And trust me, we live who we are. I say this a lot. We live who we are. And I ask people this, and I've asked in some of the other workshops, who are you? And if you don't know who you are yet, it's hard to do anything with honesty, integrity, sincerity. Good morning, Mr. Motley. I'm ready to get after it. Good deal. So who are you? Beliefs are gonna shape that. Our beliefs are. I wrote some really cool notes down here, but I'll just wing it for you guys. Excuse me. Our beliefs are the thoughts that we tell ourselves and the truths that we believe that we tell to ourselves. Now, other people can put on you things that you believe about yourself, but it's not them telling you, it's you believing it and telling yourself. Do you follow me? If someone says you're no good and they tell you that all your life and you start to believe it, it's not because they said it, it's because you told yourself that it's a truth. If somebody picks you up and cares for you and nourishes you and says you can do anything, you're incredible, and they give you that positive reinforcement and you believe it, that's who you become. Follow me? Here's some great examples of how our beliefs can limit us as well as lift us up. And in your life, I'm sure you're going to recognize some of these. If you believe that you're a smoker, this is one that I hear a lot of people use an analogy, and I use it for people all the time when they're trying to make a change. If you believe you're a smoker and you say, no, I'm a smoker, it's going to be hard for me to quit smoking. I've quit smoking, but I've been a smoker all my life. You've labeled yourself as a smoker. What do you think a smoker does? I can almost guarantee you that if you're trying to quit and you still believe you're a smoker, your time is numbered. It's limited. You're going to start smoking again. Why? That's what smokers do. Same thing with alcoholics. And I'm not picking on people, but think about it. If you go around and say, I am an alcoholic, or you are an alcoholic, and you're trying to quit, but you keep labeling yourself as an alcoholic, well, what do alcoholics do? Alcoholics drink. How long do you think it's going to be before you take your next drink? How tough is that road going to be for you to travel? Stop labeling yourself that way. There are new ways to set your beliefs and reinvent yourself and leave all that stuff behind. That's what this workshop is going to be about. Good morning, Cindy. So today, that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about beliefs. Those are limiting beliefs. Here's a great analogy on limiting beliefs. Have you ever been to a circus or even seen one on TV? And you see these ginormous elephants, okay, these gigantic elephants, and they're held in place by one little rope around their ankle, just one little rope that's staked to the ground. Now, these giant elephants could tear down the whole tent. How is this little rope holding them in place? Well, from the time that they were little, being trained, whether you believe it's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't want to hear from PETA or any animal rights activists. This is just an analogy of a truth that used to be, right? These elephants, since they were born, have been staked to the ground and taught that when that rope is around their ankle, they're not supposed to move. They're supposed to be right where they're at, and they're not supposed to go anywhere. And try as they might, they're not going to get free, and they don't. So pretty soon, their belief system tells them that when this happens, this is what I'm supposed to do, and I can't get free. And they believe it, and they stay. Understand that? That's a limiting belief, I would believe. How about beliefs that can lift you up? Have you ever in your life wanted something so bad that you didn't care how it happened, you were going to get it? It didn't matter. You knew in your heart of hearts it was already yours. It could have been a person, a relationship, a car, a house, anything. And you didn't care. You didn't even think about how it was going to happen. You just knew that this was going to happen. Maybe you were going to change your fitness program. Maybe you were going to get a new job. You just kept seeing that house or that car that you wanted. And I can tell you in my life a few examples like this. And you believe it was going to happen, and it did. It happened. You are now driving that car. You're now living in that house. You now have that relationship that you want. Your brain functions that way. Your mind functions that way. It moves to close the gaps on what you believe is true and where you're at now. It automatically does that. And the power of your belief system is what carries you through. It's the most important thing I'm going to share with you. It's awesome. One of the most important things. They're all important. Okay. Do you believe in magic? See the little beginning here when Yoda's flying? He's back on the shelf. But if you believe magic exists or can exist, in whatever form you believe in it, whether it's mystical or it's just incredible dexterity and coordination and timing and whatever you believe magic to be, how much more enjoyable is a magic show than if you sit and you have the other beliefs? How about, good morning, Mr. Murray. How about love? Do you believe in love? I can tell you there are people out there that don't. If you don't believe in love, will you find it? Probably not, even if you're looking for it. Happiness. If you don't believe in happiness, will you ever feel happiness? You probably don't know what it means if you don't believe in it, or if you've got a definition of happiness that doesn't serve you and you don't see. These are beliefs. Do you believe in success, and to what extent? And on the other end of that, there are people that believe if you succeed, you must be selfish or you must act a certain way. And some people, their beliefs in how successful people act or treat others has been built since they were little. And some people have a negative view of that and don't want to become that person. These are all beliefs. Okay. The 4-minute mile. The 4-minute mile is a great analogy or story. It's not really an analogy. It's a story about how beliefs can empower you. Let me look at the date because I can't remember the date. There it is. May 6, 1954. Sir Roger Bannister, 1954, May 6th, broke the 4-minute mile for the first time ever. Nobody had ever run a mile in under 4 minutes before Sir Roger Bannister did in 1954. Now, before he ran it, it was a belief by everybody, apparently, that it couldn't be done. It couldn't be done. For a human to run a 4-minute mile, it just can't be done. And that belief, everybody bought into it and nobody could do it. Well, Roger trained himself differently. He didn't train just his body. He trained his mind. If you listen to the story or go read the story, he trained his mind and commanded his nervous system to think differently. In his mind, the way I heard the story was he would see that clock and in his mind run the mile. And in his mind, he would see that clock. Every time he passed the finish line, it would be less, and it would be less, and it would be less, and lower than the 4-minute mile. Well, the day after he broke the 4-minute mile, within the next year, because he changed the paradigm, he broke the 4-minute mile. Within a year, 37 other people had broke the 4-minute mile. How's that possible? It used to be impossible. Somebody did it, the belief system changed. And now I can't remember the number. My research, it was like over 1,700, maybe 17,000. I would be willing to say 17,000, but I think it was 1,700 other athletes broke the 4-minute mile. That's the equivalent of like 15 miles an hour. Okay. That's a belief system. Introduction to your 6 human needs. Okay. So this 6 weeks, one of the things I will introduce you to is, you have 6 human needs. We all have 6 basic human needs. And I'm not talking about tacos. That's number 7. And one of them is certainty. And I'm going to introduce you to those needs to help you design and change your beliefs or redefine your beliefs. And certainty. Let me share this with you real quick. If you are certain that a type of action will get a definite result, you will either, 1, take that action because the result is pleasurable, or 2, not take that action because your belief says that that action will get you something negative. You follow me? If you're absolutely certain that behind door number 2 is a gigantic monster that will eat your head, you probably won't open door number 2. But if you believe behind door number 2 is happiness, love, success, the life of your dreams, here's the key. All you got to do is open that door. And you believe that that's absolutely behind that door. You're going to open that door at any cost. Well, not any cost, but you'll get the door open, right? Good. Certainty defines how our actions are taken through our belief system. So that's something we'll talk about. Good. I think that's it for today. I do want to remind you of this. I started with this and I'll end with this. We live who we are, and our beliefs shape our destiny and the actions that we take. One more example of that. My wife, who is an awesome person. If you guys know her, you're privileged to know her. If you don't know her, seek to introduce yourself. She's beautiful. She's capable, if I help remind her, of changing her beliefs about what she deserves. Like other people, there were people in her lives early on that made her feel like she didn't deserve anything. And that was a belief system. And I think we all, I remember being there when I was a really younger kid, but I changed that really quick and took what I felt I needed as far as attention. Anyway, recently, she's been able to manifest some amazing things in her life and our lives together. The house we're living in. I told this story before. She drove past that house a year and a half before it was ours. And we lived close to it. And she kept saying, that's my house. That's my house. And then it went up for sale. And we looked at it. And she kept saying, that's my house. That's my house. And we never really went to look at it. We saw it. We just moved, so we weren't in a position to look at buying another house. We kept saying it. First, it was a for sale sign by owner. Then it was a for sale by bank within about a year. And finally, we made an offer on it. And they came back and said the offer was too low. We waited a little while, and then we asked again, made another offer, and the house had sold. We weren't heartbroken because we had just moved into a house. We were fine. But my wife kept saying, that's my house. That's my house. And within about 6 months, the bank called me back. I don't even think it was 6 months. I think it was like 4 months. The bank had called us back and said, hey, do you still want that house? We said, yeah, but not at the price you want it. And we got the house. It's her house. Magic, right? Belief system. She just knew it to be true. She's doing it again. She's done it with a lot of things. And here we go again. And her belief system in this new goal that she has, there are 3, and I'm all on board with all of them. And her belief is, and it's going to happen. Same thing with me. I've done that several times with vehicles, houses, jobs, relationships. I have the relationship of my dream because I believed it was possible, and she exists. All right. I love you guys. Beliefs. This 6-day workshop is going to be important. Get a piece of paper. Here's what I want you to do. At the end of this 6 days, I want you to have 5 new beliefs. 5 new beliefs. Now, new can mean brand new to you, or it can be a reframing of some beliefs that you've already have or already experienced. I want you in the next couple of days to write down some beliefs, 2 or 3, okay, that you feel limit you. I don't believe I'm worthy, or I have an illness, or whatever. Excuses can be beliefs too. So if you want to do that, I can help you. But that's going to be the next couple of steps in the workshop. So this is what's going to happen, okay? At the end, we're going to have 5 new beliefs that empower us. We're going to move forward using those and take actions based on those beliefs, okay? During the 6 days, it's going to get rough. You've got to stick with me. I'll try to make them short so that you can follow along. I know I'm fairly wordy, but over the next 4 days, we're going to discover our limiting beliefs, how to change those limiting beliefs, and start defining who we are as a person. If you say you're a cowboy, how does a cowboy act? If you say you're a lady, how does a lady act? If you say you're an athlete, how do you take care of yourself? You follow me? Defining these things. Now, you can put on any hat you want. This 6 weeks, I'm going to give you permission to wear whatever hat and become whoever you want. That's 6 days. I keep saying 6 weeks. 6 days. And this 6 days, I give you permission to try it well, without hurting anybody, okay? We're not about hurting people. I give you permission to put on any positive, reinforcing attitude, persona. It's almost Halloween too, but any personality that you want to try. Is that fair? Good. Okay, this 6 days is going to be awesome. I love you guys. I think I've covered everything I wanted to today. I did. I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's Tuesday. I'm going to actually be on the radio show tomorrow with Finster in the morning on WLDR. That's 101 point. Excuse me a second. For those of you that are local, I think you can find it online too. It's WLDR 101.9. So online, it's www.101.9WLDR.com. That'll be September 17th. For those of you that may have been watching this later. So if you missed it, you missed it. But I'll be on early in the morning, and we'll be talking about some of the stuff that I'm working on, and it'll be fun. So I'm not sure if I'll go live before that. I probably will. So it'll probably be 7 o'clock my time when I go live tomorrow. Okay? All right, guys. I love you. Cindy, Mr. Motley, Mr. Murray, I love seeing you in the morning. Hit the ground running, you guys. And you know what we like to say, right? You say it for me. On your mark, get set. Hey, did you see Yoda fly?